here with Half Dozen Customs. Back out here on the Jeep this morning. We're gonna do a little grinding. Get some of the stuff that I welded up yesterday cleaned up. And I had a couple pieces that I need to make and weld in on the bottom of the rockers. And then we'll see from there. Need to grind that up a little bit so that the floor kind of sits flush here when we put the new floor pieces in. I looked at the other side. I didn't go crazy over there either, so I'm not gonna go crazy here. And same thing here. I'm just gonna grind down the top welds here so that floor can sit flush. Not gonna go crazy. You're never gonna see it once the floor is in. So I was talking about those welds on the side here. I showed you guys that side over there as well. That side I don't even think I grinded down any. I totally forgot. There's a kick panel that goes in here, so you won't even ever see those welds. So. Grinded up a couple of spots down there, just stuff that you might see if you look underneath the vehicle. Kind of undecided yet. We're gonna figure it out as we do this floor. With the bed, all like the bed braces and bed frame, we're gonna undercoat, and then before I actually put the floor in, we're gonna paint the floor and then put it in. So that way when you look up underneath the truck, you have nice black undercoated framing with the color of the truck showing through. So since we're doing the floor here, I'm thinking I'm going to try, we'll see, I'm gonna try to do that same thing. So a lot of this underneath here is going to be undercoated. One way or the other, it's getting undercoated. Whether or not I make it match the bed with the blue showing through is another thing, because the bed's a little easier. Where it gets welded in, you have a huge piece of the bed framing that you can weld to, and you won't ever see that weld. The floor, I don't know yet if we can pull that off. We'll see. But needless to say, the stuff that I grinded down there, once it's all undercoated and everything, you're barely even gonna ever see it. So I mean, you'll see it, don't get me wrong, but so I want to make a little something down here for the bottom of the rocker. I think that'll work. So just in between like the rocker and the cab. What are you guys doing way over there? Okay. So just in between the rocker and the cab, I'm gonna cut a piece like, you know, yay big. And I'm just gonna, cause we're seam sealing all this stuff anyway. So basically I'm just gonna, I think we're just gonna tack it in place. You know, we'll put a few tacks in there so that it won't ever come out. And then we'll put some seam sealer over it. You won't ever see it once the fenders are on. What I don't want to happen is a bunch of dirt to get trapped in this little voided area, in between like I'm gonna take you guys off and show you underneath here. I don't want dirt to get like packed in, dirt, grime, rocks, whatever, to get packed in between like the fender and the rocker, excuse me. So it's just this that I'm looking at. Like I said, the fender mounts right here, you'll never see this. But like I said, I'm worried about dirt getting in here. So if we just take a piece of metal and just kind of tack it in place, and then it can get seam sealed, then, you know, I don't have to worry about dirt getting packed in there. So we'll I think we'll just do something like that. When I have the other fender off, like I said, I don't think, I haven't looked underneath there in a while, but I don't think that the driver's side is that big. I think the driver's side's only like, you know, 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch, where this side's like an inch. And I don't, you know, that's what I was saying. I don't understand, like, you know, I've measured the door opening, I've measured the rockers, like everything's the same. I didn't change the width of anything. So why this side has such a large gap compared to the other side, beyond my knowledge of these Jeeps. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. I have no idea. But let me get a magic marker. I'm gonna mark how long we need that. We'll cut it on the shear. We'll get it tacked in place. I did notice that our little rear cab corner box that we made, the rocker extension, there's some spot welds on the bottom that I missed, so we're gonna hit those real quick. There's a marker right there. I didn't have to get up for nothing. All I had to do is just turn around. So, thinking about just like that. Like I said, we'll tack it in and we'll seam seal it. Alright, I just welded it in, said screw it, instead of tacking it. Now it's in there, it don't have to be seam sealed. Alright, we're back out here and we got the door on. So Now we're gonna make a little adjustment to the door. I've talked about this in several videos, but if you look, like, the door gap is pretty decent all the way up until you get to about right here, and then it opens way up. Like, you know, I can't quite stick my finger in here. The other side I could stick my finger in. And same thing up here in the front. Like, super nice gap all the way up until you get to about the top of the window there, and then it opens up, you know. So what we're gonna do is I did this on the other side, and I tried everything to get this to bend. I put the door face down on the ground with some 2x4s underneath here, and me and Colleen stood on it. We could not get it to move. You know, modern day cars, you know, in modern day cars, this happens when you're in an accident and you know, you put your knee up here and you pull on the top and you can, you know, straighten it out and get it to where you need it. These I could not get to move at all. So I ended up having to cut them and relieve the pressure. Now that side, as soon as I cut it, like, it pinched my blade, and you know, we got them cut, and as soon as I shut the door, like, it was perfect. Like, I didn't have to bend it, no nothing. Like, it was ready to go home. So let's see if this side is the same. I'm just gonna cut right in here on both sides, and we'll see what happens. Put a new blade on this, see if I can get a little farther. If not, I might have to pull the door back off because I can't get in there. I don't remember how I did it the last time. I just know I cut it. So I'm not going to be able to get too much farther with this, but I can get a little bit farther, and then, I don't know, maybe the Sawzall, or I got to take the door off. That's as far as we can get with that. Now I'm looking over at the welds on the other side to see, like, where I put them and how far I went. All right, let's see if just cutting it relieved it any. So I didn't relieve it any. If anything, it made it worse. But you can see we can push the door in now and then weld it up. Front's a little tougher. See if we can get it to go. Oh, there we go. So much better. Maybe even just put a little bit more onto it when I weld it. So, and you can see my cuts, like, we barely closed it up. So, I mean, you can still see my cut. So, you know, if anybody's thinking like, oh, you're changing the way that the window is going to sit and you're not going to be able to roll the window up and down. Like back here, I mean, we moved it like maybe a 32nd of an inch. Maybe this side a little bit more, maybe like a 1/16 of an inch, because that's where it needed it more. But I mean, we barely moved that, because a little bit of movement down here is a lot at the top. So I mean, we just barely moved it to get what we needed. It is not going to affect the way the window rolls up and down at all. They're in a track, so if I remember correctly, which I have a horrible memory, especially of stuff that I did last year, I think it took me a couple of tries. Like, I got it to where I was happy. I'd put a tack in there, I'd shut the door, and it had moved from the heat of the tack. I'd have to cut that tack, move it again, re-tack it, and it took me a few times to get it where I wanted it. But let's see if we can get a little luck here. Let me get the welder. Now, you know, having it tacked in place and welding it in place is going to be two different things. Now that I'm thinking about it, it may have been when I welded it solid that it moved on me. But what a big difference, you know, just that little bit makes. So, we are gonna, I believe it's on video of me doing the driver's side. The top corner over here, we had to shave a little off and weld it back up to keep the gap consistent. Remember, these things were handmade back in the day. So I see that we're gonna have to do it just a little bit. We had to do it quite a bit on this side. A little bit on that side, we gotta do it. And then I see the back corner is actually off as well, so we're gonna do the back corner too. So but I'm gonna take some pictures of this and see what we're gonna do next, and I'll be back. All right, so now we got that top laid in, and I got it welded up, and I think we're still good. So we got these couple of mirror holes that are here and here. We're gonna grind those up and get those welded up. And then we just have just a little bit of, I think, of some adjustment to I think mainly just this back corner. It looks to me like the door needs to go this way, just, you know, like a 1/16 of an inch, and that'll open up this front gap here, and close up this back gap. And I mean, we're real close to touching up here as it is. So if we go back with the door any, we're definitely going to be hitting up here. So we need to, like I said, I think we need to clearance this corner, and let's weld up these two holes, and we'll go from there. So I think tomorrow is definitely going to be start the floor day. So yay. Where's my gloves? Where's my gloves? Just trying to get some, trying to get the hole kind of cleaned out because, you know, there's some rust in the hole, and, you know, rust isn't the funnest to try and weld up, so get that hole cleaned up. Need to get, I want to get the blowgun so we can keep it cool. Not really too worried about it warping up here. There isn't really nowhere for the metal to go. It's double walled front and back right here. Pretty strong area. All right, well, I think that's it for today. We may do a little bit more cleaning up on these. I don't want to take it down too much because you know, I can still see them on that side, and there's a reason that I left them like that. Like I didn't smooth them out totally because I don't want, you know, you slam the door and then it cracks there because I ground the weld down all the way. So we'll just, you know, I'm just gonna get it to where it feels pretty good, and then it'll just get a little swipe of some filler there, and weld be gone. So we, you know, I don't think we got a ton of stuff done today, but we tied up a whole bunch of like little loose ends, like, you know, getting underneath and welding that up and grinding down some welds here and there, and, you know, getting the door on and adjusted and whatnot. You know, I did want to, I'm not going to do it tonight, but we'll do it tomorrow. You know, we need to trim this edge of this door a little bit. You know, and if you guys watched any of the other videos, I just grind it down a little bit, and then it'll separate the door skin there. So then we gotta go back and we gotta weld the door skin back together and round everything up. It's not that bad. You know, we should be able to spend, you know, an hour on it tomorrow and get all that wrapped up. I think we need to loosen the door a little bit and just slide it back some. The door is going to be on and off, you know, several more times, but you know, I would like to just kind of get a look at it and be like, okay, it fits good. You know, if I can get it to where it fits good like this, then we should be able to get it to fit good when it's all painted and done. So yeah, I think we're real close. Tomorrow, I think we will definitely be, you know, looking into that floor and maybe getting some of it cut out, and you know, who knows, maybe. Well, I don't want to say, you know, making the new metal pieces, but you know, I don't think that there's a whole lot. You know, we're gonna cut out the old stuff. We're gonna clean up what's staying. You know, it'll get grinded down. It'll get sandblasted, and then we need to make a panel that's gonna go back in its place. Is that something that we could possibly get done tomorrow? Yes. But like the new panels are gonna get bead rolled and whatnot, and you know, that does take some time. So is that, you know, are we gonna get a side done tomorrow? Maybe, but I doubt it. I think we need to get both sides cut out, and then we need to do the trans tunnel and get the trans tunnel done first. Then we can do the outside pieces. So like I said, you know, getting this side wrapped up was a huge job. Now we got to do the floor. That's another big job. We got to do the firewall. That's another big job. Then we got to get the wipers. I gotta try and take the wipers out of our other Jeep that's sitting out there. And I gotta try and get that vent door on the cowl vent to open. That's another big job. So yeah. But we're, you know, as far as metal work goes, I mean, we're dwindling down. I mean, over this next month, you know, hopefully the majority of the metal work is going to be done, and we're going to be looking at, you know, pulling this bed back off so I can start stripping stuff. I don't know what's under the rest of this. You know, we could find some stuff that needs to be metal worked, and then we got metal work back on the list again. So who knows? But enough talking, enough gabbing. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Please, if you haven't yet, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, good or bad. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.